Hello, welcome to yet another edition of Trends with LJE, where we bring you the latest and developing stories in and across Nigeria and, of course, Africa. I am John N3bn. Now, do well, as always, to be part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Joining me to dissect today's trending stories are Esther Kwara and, of course, Miriam Gamali. Ladies, it's great to have you on this edition of Trends.
A pleasure.
Right, let's quickly get through our headlines for this edition of Trends. Adoption rocks Niger State. Kwara church attackers demand 3 billion naira ransom. Kanu's wife challenges terrorism sentencing. Military helicopter sighted over Umuahia, Abia State. Nnamdi Kanu barred from Kuje Correctional Center due to security risk. Nnamdi Kanu sentenced to life in prison forfeits Radio Biafra. And then we go straight to our first story, sad development, where just days after bandits kidnapped 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi State, Nigeria's education sector has been struck by another devastating attack. An unconfirmed number of students and staff were abducted from St. Mary's School, a Catholic institution in Papiri community of Kwara local government area of Niger State. The raid reportedly occurred late last night, overwhelming the school's defenses. While initial details remain sketchy, both sources from the local Catholic Church and the Niger State Police Command have confirmed the incident, stating that authorities are still compiling records to ascertain the full scope of the abduction. Consequent, though still unconfirmed, reports suggest that the number of victims, including students and staff, could be as high as 52. This attack follows a worrying trend of terrorists deliberately targeting soft civilian locations, particularly boarding schools, for mass kidnappings across the northern and north-central regions. This latest incident places immediate and imminent pressure on both the Niger State government and the federal security agencies to intensify security around educational facilities. Coming so close on the heels of the Kebbi school attack, the adoption of St. Mary's highlights the severe and persistent threat to the safety of students and staff, plunging the affected communities into fear and uncertainty. The terror group responsible for the brazen attack on the Christian Apostolic Church, CAC, in Eruku, Kwara State, is now demanding a massive ransom for the release of the adopted worshippers, with between 30 to 35 church members seized. Mid-service, the kidnappers have reportedly split the victims into groups and are demanding 100 million naira per person, pushing the total ransom demand to over 3 billion naira. Relatives and local leaders confirmed that the bandits began making contact using the victims' mobile phones. Elder Joshua Agbabiaka, the church secretary, confirmed that the first group of 11 victims had been asked to pay the steep 100 million naira ransom each. Chief Olusegun Olukotun, whose 4 relatives are among the adopted, also confirmed the outrageous demand, highlighting the calculated and financially driven nature of bandits' operation. While the Kwara State Police Command stated it has not received any official report regarding the ransom demand, they assured residents that joint tactical units and the military have been deployed to conduct operations in the area. This incident, demanding one of the highest ransom totals in recent times, underscores the increasing confidence and criminal organization of terror groups in north-central Nigeria, putting intense pressure on the government to secure the release of the innocent worshippers. Still on latest developments, the wife of proscribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu has publicly challenged the legal prosperity of her propriety of her husband's terrorism trial and life sentence, raising serious concerns regarding the conduct of Justice James Omotosho. Her central argument focuses on the legal principle that a defendant cannot be convicted unless the offense is clearly defined under an existing written law, asserting that the judge forced Kanu to proceed under a law he did not recognize. She accused the judge of compromising judicial integrity, claiming he was reading a script handed to him and struggled to pronounce words from the judgment. Kanu's wife specifically noted that the judge allegedly ignored constitutional requirements by compelling her husband to take a plea on terrorism charges without first reading out the relevant written law. She added that the judge consequently and consistently refused to issue proper written rulings on serious applications. The public stance directly attacks the credibility of the entire judicial process that led to Kanu's conviction and life sentence. Her accusations amplify concerns raised by other observers regarding the procedural aspect of the trial, suggesting the conviction may be lawful but procedural flawed. Her reaction frames the legal battle as an issue of constitutional rights and judicial fairness, likely setting the stage for the appeal process. Let's get to hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife's reaction, especially after yesterday's ruling, giving her husband a life sentence.
So the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 36. I mean, I'm sure that is very familiar to everyone now. It provides that a person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined and the penalty prescribed as in a written law. So what Omotosho has done today is a written script for him to read out. Everyone could hear him, everyone could see that he was reading a script handed over to him, and that he could barely read out some of the words in his own very written judgment. How interesting. Okay, so the Constitution of the Federal.
All right, let me come to my panel, my female panel here. Let me start with you, Esther. How do you react to the comments of Nnamdi Kanu's wife, alleging that, yeah, there were procedural flaws with the case that eventually saw Justice Omotosho ruling that Nnamdi Kanu should be imprisoned for life, and not just in life, even specifically highlighted that he shouldn't be sent to Kuje prison for his own safety and profile. How do you react to all of this?
To me, coming from a humanity standpoint, I think it's an unfair ruling. Giving him life sentence. What did he actually do to deserve a life imprisonment? Of course, they can put him in prison, but giving him a life sentence, I think that is over the edge.
Overreaching.
And yes, and it's so saddening seeing the wife coming out to speak. Like, I think he deserves a pardon, at least.
Miriam, your reaction, you seem to be a bit indifferent about this.
Yes, I am, and I would prefer not to speak on this matter. Thank you.
Prefer not to speak on this matter. Yeah. Okay. All right. At this point, we'll take a quick break. And when we return, we'll bring you the story of how a military helicopter has been sighted over Umuahia, Abia State. Don't forget that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hails from Abia State. And we'll also tell you how Nnamdi Kanu has been barred from Kuje Correctional Center due to security risk, and how Nnamdi Kanu's sentence to life imprisonment has forfeited Radio Biafra. Stay with us and keep sharing the stream.
Welcome to LJE Studio, where creativity meets production excellence. Whether you're shooting a podcast, hosting a live stream, recording interviews, or bringing your next big idea to life, we've built the perfect space for you. Everything you need to create premium content is right here. Come record, come create, come be inspired. Visit www.ljenigeria.org/LJE-studio or call 0705-245-3714 to book your session today.
Thanks for staying with us. And if you just joined us, this is Trends with LJE. Moving ahead, residents of Umuahia and Ohuhu in Abia State were startled early today by the unusual sighting of a Nigerian Army Air Force helicopter flying at low altitude over the area. The unexpected aerial movement immediately sparked curiosity and attention amongst locals, with photos and videos of the military aircraft quickly circulating across social media platforms. While the Nigerian Army has not released an official statement regarding the flight's purpose, security experts suggest such operations are commonly part of routine patrols or precautionary surveillance efforts. The heightened visibility of military hardware in the area may be related to ongoing security concerns in the southeast, particularly following the life sentence handed down to IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the need to preempt any potential backlash or instability. Community members have been urged to remain calm and vigilant, adhering to any instruction from local security authorities. The sighting highlights the military's renewed emphasis on maintaining a visible security presence across the part of Abia State. Key parts, I must emphasize, underscoring the delicate security climate in the region, talking about Nigeria's southeast. Now, in other developments, in a very significant post-conviction decision, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court has issued a directive that convicted IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must not be detained at the Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja. This ruling, which came alongside his life sentence, was based on explicit security concerns, custodial risk, and the sensitive nature of Kanu's profile. Justice Omotosho cited intelligence reports and national security assessments, stressing that the Kuje Correctional Center lacks sufficient security for such a high-profile inmate. He specifically referenced the 2022 Kuje prison break and attack, where armed insurgents orchestrated a major jailbreak and freed over 600 inmates. The judge explained that detaining Kanu there would pose undue risk to both the individual and the stability of the facility itself. While the specific location of Kanu's new detention has been withheld for security reasons, the ruling underscores the judicial's recognition of the unique security challenges surrounding high-profile detainees. Kanu's legal team approved the removal from Kuje but expressed concerns about transparency, vowing to file motion to ensure his right to legal representation, medical care, and family contact are protected in the new, more secured, federally monitored facility. Now, still staying with developments relating to IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice James Omotosho, sentenced the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to life imprisonment following his conviction on multiple terrorism-related offenses. Now, Kanu received the life sentence for counts bordering on terrorism and received concurrent sentences, including 20 years for belonging to a proscribed group, 5 years for unlawfully importing a radio transmitter. Justice Omotosho, while noting that terrorism offenses carry a maximum death penalty, stated that he exercised mercy as a Christian, choosing life imprisonment instead. Crucially, in furtherance of the sentence, the judge ordered that Kanu's assets used for furthering his unlawful activities, specifically the radio transmitter used for Radio Biafra, be forfeited to the federal government. The judge also ordered Kanu's protective custody in a secured facility, explicitly excluding the Kuje prison. The judgment affirms that the prosecution led credible evidence proving Kanu's violation of terrorism laws, citing numerous broadcasts where he threatened Nigeria's corporate existence and incited violence that resulted in the killing of security personnel and destruction of property. Legal analysts acknowledge the judgment's strong statement against pursuing agitation through illegal means. However, the ruling has sparked debate among lawyers and political leaders regarding the need to watch this legal firmness and genuine political engagement to resolve the underlying conflict in the Southeast. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Trends with LJE. My sincere thanks to Esther Ikwere and Miriam Gamali, who decided to plead the fifth on this edition of the show. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
And to you, our viewers and audience, don't forget to follow, like, and share at LJE on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am John Nkamiang. Bye for now.